Back to Bright and Beyond. I'm Peggy Cobb. I'm so glad you've decided to join me. If this is your first time joining, I hope that you will stay connected with me. This is a journey back to brightline eating and beyond. I've been there before. I've been bright, I've been thin, I've been happy and free from the addiction to sugar and flour. This time, I'm hoping you'll join me on the journey to get back to bright and beyond. Today we're going to talk about preparation. If this is your first time watching, please go ahead and give me a like. Go ahead and subscribe. Click on that notification bell so that you'll get alerts as to when I upload more videos. Watch till the end because I have some key tips on how you can be successful with brightline eating. This is a crucial day to brightline eating. Before today, I've read the book. If you have not read the book, Brightline Eating by Dr. Susan Peirce Thompson, go buy the book online. You can get it at Audible and listen to it, or you can purchase it on Amazon. It is Brightline Eating by Dr. Susan Peirce Thompson. I have the hard copy, but I've loaned it to someone. I also have the Audible copy that I listen to in my car. This is the cookbook. I encourage you to get the book Brightline Eating by Dr. Susan Peirce Thompson. If you also find this, get it. This cookbook also explains the Brightline Eating philosophy and the science behind eating, but the book, the original Brightline Eating book, will go into great detail about the science of eating and why we get addicted to sugar and flour. The 4 bright lines are no sugar, no flour, 3 meals, and weigh and measure everything. Those 4 bright lines will get you to happy, thin, and free. So today is preparation day. What does that mean? It means I've read the book. It means I am mentally ready to start brightline eating day 1 tomorrow. Okay? I have already purchased my groceries. I made a list of all the food I needed to get, and I've already ordered my groceries and went to pick them up. If you saw my first video, you saw that I said I ordered groceries, I went and picked them up, and I got a yellow squash instead of a spaghetti squash. So you need to prepare ahead, be ready to fix any mistakes that are in your groceries if you're ordering groceries online and picking them up, as many of us are doing right now. The spaghetti squash is crucial to my brightline journey. It may be to yours too. I love to eat the spaghetti that is on the brightline eating plan. I'll show you that today. You'll see how we cut and how we cook that spaghetti squash. So keep watching because you're going to see how I prepare my meals for the first week of brightline eating. This is a journey that I am just recording so that I can be accountable to you, my YouTube watchers. Okay, I'm new to YouTube. I've never been a YouTuber before, but this is the first time I'm setting out on an adventure to be a YouTuber specifically for a particular niche. A niche of people who are wanting to get on brightline eating, who are wanting to follow this plan to feeling happy, thin, and free. You can do it. I know you can. So are you ready to get started for prep day? Here it comes. Here is what I do to get ready for the entire week on one day. I typically get ready on Sunday afternoons. It's when I do all my cooking, chopping, packaging, and storing of my food that I start eating on Monday morning. It's ready for all week long. So here we go. Let's get started with breakfast. One of the first things I do on food prep day is to prepare my breakfast. This is oatmeal, dried oats. I set the container on the scale, my Joseph & Joseph scale that I got from Amazon. I weigh out 1 ounce of oats into each small container. I want to make sure it's 1 ounce, not 1.1, not 0.9, but 1 ounce of oats in each container. I make 7 of these so that they're ready for each morning to add to boiling water. I add cinnamon to them, cook 2 eggs, eat them with a banana. So yummy. Another favorite breakfast meal is my morning cake. On food prep day, I like to make a batch of 3 morning cakes. First, I take the bananas. I'll use 3 bananas, 1 banana for each day. Slice up the apples, chop them up, put them into the same bowl with the bananas. So for preparing for 3 days, we need 18 ounces of fresh fruit. I like to use bananas and apples, but you can use anything like blueberries, persimmons, any kind of fruit. I prefer bananas and apples. Want to make sure that those weigh out to 18 ounces because we're making 3 servings. I like to take a piece of banana and set it to the side so that I can use it on top of my first morning cake that I'll eat that day. After putting all the bananas in and weighing out the apples, putting the apples separately so that you can mash up the bananas very well. Mash up the bananas so that they're very soft, and then you're going to add your nut butter. This would be 0.75 ounces for each serving. So I'm going to put 3 of those. If you'll notice, this nut butter does not have sugar in it. It is very delicious. It's a little dry if you eat it alone, but it tastes great in recipes. So you put that in the banana, mix it up very well. Make sure that you have that mixture completely mixed up. Put it in with the apples. This morning cake is so yummy, warmed up with yogurt on top. I'll show you the yogurt in just a little bit. For the oats, typically 1/4 of a cup is 1 ounce, so I'll need 3 of those. And then again, measure exactly to the 3 ounces that we'll need for the 3 servings. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon per serving, so I'll put 3 1/2 teaspoon servings of cinnamon. Ground nutmeg, we take 1/4 of a teaspoon. Again, 3 of those because I'm making 3 servings. Next, we're going to sprinkle some ground ginger. It says just a sprinkle, and so I'll give it 3 little sprinkles to mix it in with the nutmeg and cinnamon and oats. It says to give a dash of salt. I just barely put a little bit of salt in and mix that up. Make sure the dry mixture is completely mixed very well, and then we'll put it in with the bananas and apples. Mix that up very well. For each serving, there is also 1 egg. So for this recipe, we'll add 3 eggs to the mixture. Mixing those 3 eggs in with the oats and cinnamon and apples and banana and all the seasonings. Such a yummy mixture. Now, I have preheated my oven to 375. I'm getting the springform pan ready. This springform pan I ordered on Amazon. It is, I believe, a 3.5 or 4 inch size. Spray it well. Make sure the sides and the bottom get sprayed. Spray 3 cupcake compartments for each serving. So you get 3 of the cupcakes or 1 of the springform size. So I fill it up just about this much, and then I use the 1/4 cup serving to fill up 6 more. You'll have 3 of those or 1 springform for a serving. Again, this is definitely one of my most favorite breakfast meals. You'll add 1 ounce of yogurt, which I'll show you in just a little bit, and the rest of the banana that I laid to the side to slice to put on top. In my next video, you'll see pictures of meals that are prepared. This is the yogurt that I use. So you cook that at 375 for approximately 28 minutes. When it's done, take it out, let it cool. After cooling, you'll take this out and put the yogurt and bananas on top. For today, I'm going to store these in bags to use them on another day. Remember, in the next video, I will be sharing with you pictures of food that I have prepared and eaten during my day 1 and first week and so forth. Next, we're going to prepare lunch. One of my favorite meals. I use onions, mushrooms, bell peppers, garlic, and a ragu, simply no sugar spaghetti sauce. Saute the onions and just a little bit of virgin olive oil. Add the garlic and saute for just a couple of minutes before adding the mushrooms and bell peppers. This is definitely one of my most favorite and tasty lunch meals. After those have been sauteed for a little bit, you'll see I use a ragu simply spaghetti sauce, which has no sugar in it. Mixing that up well and letting it cook for a bit. While that is cooking, cut into our spaghetti squash. Now be very careful here. Cutting the spaghetti squash has is very dangerous if you're not careful. That knife is very sharp. So as you can see, I get my husband to cut it open for me. Since this video was made, we have discovered a different way to cut that spaghetti squash. You can cut it across the middle and then cook it either in the oven. I choose to cut out this middle, clean out the middle. It's just like a pumpkin. Clean out all the seeds and all the inside. And then take that half of the spaghetti squash, put a little bit of water in it, and pour that water on the plate. And then we'll face that half of the spaghetti squash face down. You'll see later that I end up cooking both of these so that I can go ahead and make the meals for the entire week. But here you see cooking 1/2 of the spaghetti squash for 15 minutes in the microwave. While that is cooking, I go back and start measuring out my spaghetti sauce. So to weigh and measure the spaghetti sauce, I want to remember that I want 3 ounces of the spaghetti sauce, so I can add 3 ounces of of the sauce, 3 ounces of sauce and 3 ounces of spaghetti squash to make my spaghetti for lunches and dinners. So here I'm measuring out exactly 3 ounces, not 3.1, not 2.9. Brightline Eating holds you to a standard of weighing and measuring everything to the ounce. So here it was 3.1. I took out a little bit to make sure it was 3 ounces. Remember, if you get any sauce on your finger, no bites, licks, or taste. Just wipe it off and keep going. At the end of the serving here, I want you to see this cup has 3 ounces and there's still a little bit left in the pan. Don't be tempted to add that to anything. It's just trash. It doesn't make 3 ounces. If it's enough to save to add to later, then fine. Now our spaghetti squash is finished in the microwave. I'll take it out and let you see how I prepare that. Be careful because when pulling the saran wrap off, it is very hot. It's steamy. So I just use 2 forks. Take a fork and scrape all the inside. You can scrape it completely clean. Again, I had to end up cooking another one, so that's how I lay them on the plate. With the 10 servings of spaghetti sauce, I add 3 ounces of spaghetti squash to those containers for storing for the week of lunch and dinner. I like to use this meal for lunch and dinner. It's such a quick and easy and yummy dinner. It is spaghetti. I cook meat, 4 ounces of meat to add to this, and then eat it with an apple at lunch with a fat, either a avocado or a little bit of nut butter to go with my apple. This is how clean it can get, cleaning out the spaghetti squash. I make the containers, I put them in my drawer of the refrigerator, and voila! final step for making the spaghetti for lunch or supper is cooking the ground beef. I like to add some garlic to it, maybe about a teaspoon, half a teaspoon, just for flavoring. Cook the ground beef thoroughly through, and when it is cooked, then you go ahead and drain it. Drain all the grease out of it. As the grease is draining, get your storage containers together and get ready to divvy out 4-ounce containers of the meat to combine with your spaghetti sauce and spaghetti squash. Each container is 4 ounces. When you get to the end, you may have just a little bit left. You may want to keep that or not. And for my suppers, I like to use the frozen vegetables and the frozen grilled chicken breast. The frozen vegetables are cauliflower rice along with peas and carrots and broccoli cuts. That's what I eat with salad and dressing or avocado. So that's this week's Back to Brightline and Beyond. We'll see you next week. Take care.